I was pleased with our defensive growth. But, 2 weeks ago versus Dixie, we really struggled defensively in that game, and I think since then we've taken a step in the right direction. We've really played our best defense of the year. We had some letdowns versus Regis in the second half to start the second half, and then down the stretch where we really didn't have our best defensive possessions. But I thought defensively through this weekend we were pretty sound outside of those few stretches. And then, we let the game get away from us against Regis, against a really high caliber team, and then really responded well on Saturday and did a really good job of exploiting some mismatches in the ball screens that generated a lot of offense for us and carried us to an opportunity to separate from Christian.
And then looking ahead, you get to Westminster on Friday and then potential redemption game against Dixie. Talk about those two matchups.
Yeah, it's a really interesting psychological battle for our team. We were able to separate from Westminster, play a very good game, and obviously they had a long weekend on the road. And so it's a totally different set of circumstances for that game, and we have to really understand just how hard they're going to fight and the fact that they feel like they're almost in a must-win situation at home this weekend to get in the tournament. They're 3 games below 500. If they win both, they're right in the thick of it. But with a loss, they're in real jeopardy of not making the tournament. So that's a huge mental challenge for us to just come with the same kind of fight and determination we had the first time against them, because we know we're going to see their best effort. And then Dixie's a different challenge. That was the only game all year where we really weren't in the game and got it handed to us pretty good. So for us now, it's that psychological challenge of getting over that hurdle. We've shown them some film already of just some of the mistakes we were making and how it could completely flip the game if we can just execute at a higher level and have a little better plan. So it'll be an interesting weekend, but 2 big challenges, not only the travel, the potential weather, and then the makeup of, playing a team for the second time, which is the first time we've done it this year. We haven't faced anybody twice yet. So,
questions?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Say you transfer as a graduate student to a program that is kind of starting over.
Right.
Does it look like everybody kind of fit in really well, and what made you decide, I'll go there?
Actually, yeah, it wasn't a clear decision. I wasn't really playing. I was kind of planning on playing at a different school, and then that didn't work out, and I wasn't sure I was going to play at all. And then Coach DeGeorge and Coach Bourget called me up, and I know some people that they know really well. They've coached with forever, and that I trust. And they kind of had similar feelings with my couple of my former coaches, and so kind of seemed like a no-brainer once I talked to them and understood the situation here and knew some of the other guys that I was going to be with here. So it's really worked out.
And you kind of bring a new veteran presence. I mean, you've got Connor and Brandon who've been here for a long time. You come in as a graduate guy who's really older than everybody I'm thinking on the team. Kind of what did
just about, yeah.
Yeah. What do you kind of lend that way?
Yeah, so I was fortunate to play under 2, I think, really good coaches, college coaches before Coach DeGeorge, and with 2 completely different styles. That was both at UC Santa Barbara, and I played every role. I've been on the scout team for 2.5 years there. I unfortunately, our leading scorer, our starting shooting guard, my junior year at Santa Barbara went down, so I had to step in and play some crucial minutes that I wasn't used to playing. But and then here's a completely different role. I'm the oldest on the team. I've seen a lot of different places. I've played, the guy who's the supporter on the bench, not planning on playing every night, and I've also played a guy who has to come in cold and be ready to play at any time, really. So, yeah, I've kind of brought that experience with me, and I've like some of the younger guys. It's been really fun for me to kind of teach them about college basketball and teach them like the different parts of a team, like from every guy, from the last guy to your leading scorer. Every single person is very important. So that's something that not everyone knows and doesn't learn until later in their career.
Now that you guys have had a couple days to kind of digest what happened this past weekend, Going back to Friday night, probably one of the toughest ways to lose a game. What did you learn from the team after losing to Regis that way?
Yeah, the only way that's tougher is probably the Mines game. Those are two of the worst losses of my career. I've been doing this for 26 years now. And
in the same season?
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. So, we do have to learn from it. And I do think that, part of our growth process as a team was we needed to establish habits of how we go about our business so that the first 38 minutes we have a chance. And that's been our focus all year. We wanted, Tommy and Jess and Sam, we knew what kind of people they were, what their background was in college, the maturity they would bring to our practice habits and how we operated, and they totally have brought those things. And then to having the veteran presence return, the combination has worked really well for us, which we were hoping it would. But it's still a day-to-day, battle to kind of get the habits established within our system of what we wanted. And that's been our focus all year. And we really haven't spent a ton of time in late game situations. Now we've played everybody on our schedule that we're going to play. And so it's an opportunity for us now to get it to the next level, really work on end of game situations, really figure out how to take advantage of mismatches when we get them, and have the spacing on the floor and how to attack what people are doing to us, because a lot of people have had a similar plan against us in these last few weeks. So yeah, there's lots to learn from it. It is painful, and the teams that we've had go through this, we've had teams go through this on both sides. 2 years ago, we got to this stage of the year and we'd given a few games away, and we played everybody one more time through our league schedule. We won all 7 of those games, and we swept the conference tournament and won our 10 games in a row going to the NCAA tournament. And this team has the ability to do that, but you got to learn for these lessons. You got to have it take your execution to that next level. I loved how we responded to Dixie. Our defense has been to that next level since then, and now we have to use this to get us to the next level again.
And Sam, you guys have split the last 4 weekends. How cool is it to know that you guys are the type of team that even though if you suffer a bad loss, you can respond and get a good win?
Right, yeah, it's encouraging. Obviously, it was a terrible loss, but we were in control the whole game against the only undefeated team in our conference. So that's encouraging, and also it's encouraging to know that we're in control of our own destiny from here on out.
Say the standings are, we talked about the other day, it's nuts. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you can go here to here any night.
Yeah.
So you just kind of try to forget about that and just.
Well, you make it every day. You're just focusing in on the moment. If you get outside of that moment, I was a golfer when I was young, and every time I started thinking about, man, if I can just birdie these last 2 holes, I'm going to do this, I would just blow up. It was terrible. And that's an important lesson to learn in life, and we just have to stay focused on that. But to me, it really just comes down to very simply, our goal is to get in those top 4 seeds, because if you can have that first round home game, Mines is going to host, so it's about getting that's already determined pretty much. So if we can get in those top 4 seeds, that becomes really important. In order to get in that top 4 seeds, we got to win both games this weekend. So it really becomes pretty simple from our perspective. We just have to keep getting better. We know what's in front of us. We know if we do those 2 things, that we're going to put ourselves in a pretty good chance to make that happen. And if we can get in those top 4, I feel really good about our chances in the tournament.
After getting kind of blown out by Dixie State, now that you guys get another chance and another look at them, what's the confidence level going into that game?
Well, we have to fix some stuff, and we looked at it at film yesterday so they could see that some of our mistakes on offense led to some transition issues on defense for us. And then there were a couple things they ran that we didn't handle very well. But basically, we just have to have a clear plan on offense, because they did some things in terms of switching defenses that confused us. And so I did not have the guys well enough prepared for that game. So, we worked on it yesterday. We'll have a really clear plan of what they did and how we're going to attack it. And I think if we're just more, we aren't so gray on offense, like we were merging back and forth between our man and our zone in a way that led to some really poor possessions. Then basketball is a game of not isolated possessions. You transition from end to end, and it really affected us and our ability to defend with what we were doing on offense. So if we can get that fixed, I like our chances.